Hey, welcome to Three Count Commentaries. It's your boy Mongo Slade, and let's talk about Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor TV from February the 22nd, 2021. Very lit show. It was pretty good, man. I enjoyed two of the three matches, but I enjoyed the post match angle on the match that I didn't particularly like. So let's talk about this thing. So the first match was a number one contender for the tag team championships. The winners will face the tag team champions next week on the championship edition of Ring of Honor TV. So the Briscoes versus La Facción Ingobernables, Kenny King and Dragon Lee. So this match was very fucking good. This match, of course, you can't really screw it up with Dragon Lee and Kenny King and Jay and Mark Briscoe. The Briscoes got back together the previous week, so everything was sweet. But the Jay Briscoe and Dragon Lee exchanges made me want to see that singles match. I'm all in. Like, I'm a big fan of Dragon Lee. I was a fan of his when he was in New Japan. I kind of lost track of him a little bit. That's why I was kind of surprised when I started watching Ring of Honor and he was kind of there almost exclusively. Unless he's just stuck there because he can't go to Japan. But Dragon Lee is really fucking good, and he's a well built luchador. He's not like one of these skinny guys. Like he's got some weight to him. He's still a little small, but he's got some muscularity to him. Let's put him like that. But he's still got the athleticism and everything. He's fucking great. So the finish came with Flip Gordon kicking Briscoe in the head, and he kicked him off the top rope. And I think Kenny King or Dragon Lee pinned him. So it was an excellent match. Of course, Flip Gordon kind of ruined it. Obviously, ruined the finish, but it was still... It ended up serving a purpose, because EC3 came out after La Facción and Gobernables slinked away after stealing the win. So EC3 says there's no honor in money. If honor can be bought, then it's not real. Then he says, is there any honor in, chasing the likes and the retweets and the follows and all that type of stuff? Then he says he respects Jay Briscoe, one of the few people in Ring of Honor he does respect, because Jay Briscoe works hard. He's a businessman. He said he envies Jay Briscoe. He said, will you honor your pride or will you lash out in anger? Saying that he was free and that, Jay controls his own narrative. So obviously this is a nod back to their previous feud, which was canceled due to COVID. EC3 ended up getting COVID. So on commentary, the commentary team kind of plugged the hole because the previous week, Flip Gordon had been essentially dogged out by La Facción Ingobernables, and he now helped them win. So a lot of people there's a lot of question marks floating over my head, like why did this guy do it? And the commentators were like, oh, okay, it must have been EC3 who paid Flip Gordon, who is the mercenary, right? Flip Gordon is the mercenary, and he was paid to piss off Jay Briscoe, to see if Jay Briscoe would act out and come raging after him, or will he honor what he said to his brother and maintain the focus on the tag team titles. So this is an interesting scenario here. Jay Briscoe has sort of promised his brother that they will focus on the titles, and now EC3 returns and basically is like, you can come chasing after me, because I pissed you off and I cost you this match, or you could stick to your word and even though you lost this time, you continue on the tag team route and become the tag team champions. So I love this moral quandary that EC3 has put Jay Briscoe in. And Jay Briscoe obviously was pissed. He was pissed even saying EC3. But this was a great use of EC3, great use of Flip Gordon, great use of everything. And this is a very interesting storyline. What do you do? Now that you've been set back, you're not even the number one contenders for the tag team titles anymore. And you're not even in contention, because you're probably like the number 3 contenders or something like that now. You have to keep fighting, keep grinding, get back to that spot. When you're right there, when we snatched, I took it from you. And there's going to be so much desire for revenge. But are you going to honor your word? Is honor real? Is the honor real? So that's a very good that's a very, very, very good thing. So that's pretty cool. I'm interested in seeing how Jay Briscoe responds. Hopefully he responds next week and not in 2 weeks or something like that. I mean, even though it'll probably be in 2 weeks because I doubt the championship episode will have a lot of promos on it. So the next match was Bateman versus Mike Bennett in a quote-unquote grudge match, which meant relaxed rules. And this match was... no. Didn't need it. You know, we didn't need this. Anyway, Mike Bennett they said he was undefeated since returning to Ring of Honor, and that he, of course, abstained from the Code of Honor, attacking Bateman furiously in an attempt because Bateman helped Vince that almost break his leg. This match was kind of long. I don't think it was as long as the other two matches. It was probably all about the same length, probably about 10, 12 minutes maybe. And the woman who comes out with Bateman, I couldn't catch her name, and I don't know who she is. I've been watching Ring of Honor for a while, but I still don't know all of the people like that, because there's some people that come on the screen and you just kind of like whatever, and she's one of those people. But she kept whispering things to Bateman, and one of those things she whispered to him is like, "Just murder him." And the commentator's like, "Whoa, you can't say stuff like that. You can't say things like that. How can you say things like that? That's horrible. You can't say stuff like that. Don't say stuff like that." I'm not going to repeat it. She told him to murder him. She told Bateman to murder Mike Bennett. And he, of course, did not try to. I thought, if you're going to murder somebody, you should hit him with a weapon or something. But he didn't. Anyway, he got pinned. There was a spot where Bateman did the slingshot underneath the ring. The old ring shot. Slingshot where you put your feet under the butt and you lean back and they go forward. And he did it, of course, under the ring. Boom, metal part under the ring. Supposed to hit him in the face, hit him in the jaw, hit him in the throat or something like that. It was a good spot. Of course, Bennett didn't sell it for very long. So it didn't. What could have been a great storytelling, something for Bateman to work on throughout the match, to show his viciousness, to show his violence, they kind of just shit on it almost immediately. And they say we don't understand psychology and storytelling. Anyway, Mike Bennett wins with the power driver. And right after Mike Bennett won the match, Matt Taven came into the ring and started beating the shit out of Bateman. And then Bateman was sprawled out into the ring. His ankles were kept in place by boards, similar to what Bateman and Vincent did to Matt Taven. So then the girl walked away. She saw what was going on. She walked away. Taven then said, "All right, I want a match with Vincent. And if Vincent going to give me this match, then I won't break this guy's leg, or his ankle. But you have to give me the match. Give me the match. I won't break his ankle." And so because Vincent can't be in the same building as him, well, they can't be in the arena at the same time. They're barred from being in the arena at the same time. Vincent had to appear on the screen. So Vincent appears on the screen. He's like, "Yeah, man, I see what you're doing, man. I see, man, you're so used to people telling you whatever you want to hear. You're used to getting your own way, man. And now you're just throwing tantrums, man. Look at you, man. Like, you don't have to open your eyes, man. You got to understand, man, everything about you, man." And then he said no. And then, of course, Taven blasted Bateman's leg with a chair. And Bateman cried and whined and everything. And then Taven said, "I'm going to do that to every single one of you, members of whatever group that is." I forget the name of Vincent's group. I think it's the Righteous. Every member of the Righteous, even though I think there's only 3 of them so far. "I'm going to do that to every one of you until Vincent gives me the match." And of course, Vincent doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit. So, so whatever. I like Vincent. The Vincent, the horror king. I like that. He did, and I like the cold nature of the character. Like, he didn't even show any sympathy for his own guy. Like, his own guy was out there beat up. The guy didn't beg like, Vincent, please take the match or nothing. He just kind of let it happen. Just let it happen. Like a true believer. He drank the Kool-Aid. He took the L because Vincent didn't want to do it. So, But it was very sweet. It's kind of like, it reminds me a lot of Raven and Stevie Richards, except, Raven was a lot more abusive towards Stevie Richards, and Stevie Richards was a lot dumber. Like Stevie Richards was like a little sister. And not a little brother, I mean a little sister. Like he was annoying as fuck. But that's kind of the relationship that Vincent and Bateman kind of have in my book. From what I looked at him. Raven never really cared about people beating up on the members of the flock. He never really gave a shit. And Vincent didn't give a shit about Bateman. Ankle. Didn't give a damn at all. So, so that was great. So then the main event was Shane Taylor Promotions, which is Shane Taylor and SOS, versus the Mexi Squad, which consists of Bandito, Flamita, and ROH. And so Bandito and Flamita, this is their first match back from their COVID violations. And this match goes back to Final Battle. At Final Battle, once they found out that two-thirds of the Mexi Squad had COVID, they offered Shane Taylor Promotions the 6-man tag team titles. And Shane Taylor turned it down, said that he wanted to give his guys, they were going to win their first championships in Ring of Honor, but they didn't want to win them that way. They didn't want the titles by forfeit. They wanted to work for them. They wanted to actually beat the champions. So this was their opportunity to actually beat the champions, and they did. And this match fucking ruled. This match was good. You had 3 big homeboys versus 3 small luchadors. And, it's kind of weird that Bandito is the heater for his team. And it's not even because he's big. Bandito is actually, I think, shorter than Flamita and Ray Horace. But he's bulky and he's strong. So he was like, so when the heater for Shane Taylor Promotions, and all 3 of those guys are big. Like, all 3 members of Shane Taylor Promotions are big dudes. Like, they're big homeboys. And Bandito was in there trying to they tagged him in to be like the heater for the Luchadors team. But this was a classic, speed versus power situation, power and technique and different stuff like that. Shane Taylor Promotion started out pretty fast, kind of hard hitting, dominant, very physical. Flamita was able to change the tempo a little bit, the Hurricane Ranas and the flying drop kicks and head scissors and all that type of stuff kind of took them off of their game. There was some really interesting moves. For instance, Flamita used Bandito as a stepladder to do a lucha Hurricane Rana. That was very interesting. It actually was so weird because it took a while for them to set it up. So Shane Taylor, of course, was standing there like a Mortal Kombat, like, finish him. Like, he was just standing there waiting because it took so long for them to get it together. But I guess you kind of have to take that L when you're dealing with luchadors, man. You got to let them set up and do all of the shit that they do. But it was worth it. It was pretty good. The Mexi Squad did a triple powerbomb on Khan, but they didn't even attempt a pin. That's another thing with luchadors. They just kind of do move after move after move. They don't really grasp the concept of, you're trying to win. So it's like, you did a triple powerbomb. Somebody should have pinned this guy, at least let him kick out of it. But they didn't. And then they did this helicopter move, which I thought was pretty fucking sweet. Flamita bounced off the ropes, came back towards Bandito. Bandito tossed him up into the air. And Flamita did like a spin. Not like a tornado spin, but like a helicopter propeller. And landed onto, I think his name is Khan or whatever. But it's basically like an alley-oop splash. And he tossed him pretty high in the air. Like, Bandito's strong. So he was able to toss him pretty high in the air. And the match started falling apart when they started doing the old partners hitting each other, which I have such a pet peeve about this whole partners hitting each other stuff. So there was like, one guy DDT'd another one. Like, how you mistakenly DDT your own partner? Like, that's so dumb. That is the stupidest shit in wrestling now. I caught your leg, I throw your leg to somebody else who catches your leg. They did that too, where I think he picked up Bandito's leg, or Bandito tried to kick him, he caught his leg, and he threw Bandito's leg into the other luchador and kicked him in the stomach or something like that. And I was like, oh, fuck. Whatever. Anyway, Shane Taylor ended up pinning Flamita for the win. And this match was mostly very good. Outside of the old partners hitting each other's shit, this match was pretty fucking good. It was very enjoyable. This whole episode of Ring of Honor is very, very, very enjoyable. And it gets a strong recommendation. It was a 4-star show. Very good. Next week will be the Tag Team Championship. It will be the Foundation, Jonathan Gresham and Jay Lethal, versus La Facción Ingobernables, Kenny King and Dragon Lee. That ought to rock too. I fully expect the Foundation to win, because they said that this match is going to be pure rules. That the tag team title match is going to be pure rules, and which is probably going to be to the Foundation's strength. So I expect the Foundation to win, probably to beat Kenny King, to further the schism between Kenny King and the rest of La Facción Ingobernables. And Shane Taylor Promotions, or Shane Taylor, gets a world title match next week because he won some poll. And I was like, oh, whatever. So Shane Taylor versus ROH next week. And I fully expect ROH to win. I don't see any reason to take the title off of him. I think you let Gresham chase ROH for a while. I get that you're doing something with La Facción Ingobernables versus the Foundation. And I think that in order to do that, you have to have ROH with the belt, you know. So I'm going to go with ROH, even though Shane Taylor would probably benefit more from having it. But like, there's no next thing for Shane Taylor. You know, if he wins the title, what's next? Where for ROH, you have the entire Foundation could be next. You know, Lethal could be next. Gresham could be next. Tracy Williams could be next. There could be, you know, you have so much to do there with that storyline. So I'm going to go with ROH. And also because ROH is one of my favorite guys, especially in Ring of Honor. But Ring of Honor was very fucking good this week. Highly recommend it. Thank you guys for your time. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Also, hit the Cash App to support the channel. Use the hashtag 3count commentaries to support the channel too. Send money. And thank you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later.